Hey guys, Jackie here with Bouquet of Rocks, and I was messing around with some makeup recently and actually stumbled upon a pretty great look that I think I might want to do for my wedding. And I posted it on Reddit for some feedback, and a bunch of people asked for a tutorial, so I've never done this before, but here we go. So I just started off by priming my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer in the light version. Which is supposed to be good for, I guess, combination oily skin, which I have. And then I primed my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. And I also like to do my eyebrows too, just so they don't, melt off and slide every which way or whatever. So I'm just blending that in with my ring fingers and patting that onto my eyelids and also underneath my eyes. So then I'm just going to grab the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge, I think it's called, and the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Foundation in W4. And to be honest, I really like the color match of this foundation, but it leaves my skin pretty shiny, so I don't think I'm going to wear this for my actual wedding. I need something that sort of stays in place better than this formula. So on to concealing my under eye circles, I went in with the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Eraser in Neutralize, and I just put that all over under my eyes and then blended it in with my ring fingers again. I'm going to be doing that a lot in this video because, I don't know, I've tried using brushes and sponges before to blend concealers in and primers and things like that, and I just like the finish better when I use my own fingers. I don't know what it is, but it looks a lot better to me. So then I picked up the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in Sand, and I'm going to use that to sort of highlight the center part of my face, bringing it down the bridge of my nose and underneath my nose, on my chin, my forehead, and then also conceal any blemishes or anything that I kind of want to cover up. I'm also going to dab in those areas, and then using my favorite tool, my fingers, I'm just going to blend it all in until it's exactly how I want it. So to set that concealer, I'm picking up the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder in Translucent, along with the e.l.f. Small Tapered Brush. And I'm just gonna pat on the powder exactly where I put the Fit Me concealer, just to set it. And I wanna make sure that I pat it and not don't run my brush over my skin, just so, the makeup doesn't move around and stuff like that, or you don't cause sensitivity in your skin. And then I'm picking up the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Pressed Powder in 220 just to go over the spots on my face where I didn't use the Stay Matte powder. And to do that, I'm using the e.l.f. powder brush, which is just the flat top powder brush that they have. And again, I just want to pat it onto my face and not really run it over my skin, because I have been experiencing sensitive skin issues lately. And anyway, it's better to create more of a flawless finish, I think, if you just press the powder on. So then I'm gonna do a little bit of contouring, but just a little, using the e.l.f. Contouring Blush and Bronzing Duo in St. Lucia, along with the e.l.f. Angled Blush Brush. And really, I don't want this to be super contoured. I'm just warming up the edges of my face, starting with the hollows of my cheeks. I really don't want this to be a super contoured look. We are really just sort of warming the face back up, adding a bit of bronzer to the edges of the face, along the temples and up into the forehead. And then I'm gonna grab the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer brush and picking up a little bit of bronzer. I'm just gonna run that down the sides of my nose and, right at the tip, just to, add a little bit of definition to my nose and warm up the center of my face. So moving on to the eyebrows, I am using the NYX Auto Eyebrow Pencil in Charcoal, and This is honestly just the bane of my existence. I have not been able to figure eyebrows out for the life of me. Like what product to use, what color suits me, you know, the proper technique, what shape eyebrow looks good on me. So if you guys have any tips at all, you know, what color would suit me well, considering, you know, I have black hair, but then I don't want my eyebrows to look crazy. And, you know, like if you like pencil better or powder or what brands you find are good, please leave me a comment because I really, really need help in that department. So, yeah, I'm just running the NYX comb that comes with the eyebrow pencil through my eyebrows just to clean it up a bit before I go in with the Marcel Duo Eyebrow Pro. And I'm just going to use the tinted gel side of it to run it through my eyebrows just to clean it up again and, you know, make sure the hairs stay in place. And I'm going to start off the eyes with the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Barely Branded. And I'm just going to use my finger to place it on my eyelid and stop before I get to the crease, especially because I have hooded eyes. I find that if you go over the crease, like it doesn't look as good. So I try to keep the shimmery color, you know, just on my lid. And for the eyeshadow, I'm using the Smashbox Full Exposure Travel Palette. And I'm first going to go in with the sort of peachy light brown shade that they have using the e.l.f. Professional Blending Eye Brush. And I'm just going to run that in sort of a dome shape on top of my crease, sort of into my eye socket, if that makes any sense. So again, because I have hooded eyes, this is something that I kind of have to do to make sure that the eyeshadow shows up. So you just have to tailor it to whatever kind of eye, you know, shape you have. And then I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush just to blend it out. And I'm going back again with the same color and the same brush just to intensify the color again and sort of build it up to the, you know, the intensity that I want. And then I'm just going in with the same brush using the far left darker brown shade, and I'm sort of placing it on the outer portion of my lid in a C shape. And blending it towards the center of the lid and also into the upper crease / eye socket area where I put the other brown color. And I'm just sort of blending that and, you know, slowly building up the intensity again. And the funny thing about this palette is I didn't like it at first because I didn't find the shadows very pigmented, but actually I find it very helpful for, you know, a non-makeup expert such as myself, because it really allows you to be very precise and slowly build up the color exactly how you want it. So yeah, I have no complaints about this palette. So then I'm just gonna go in with the far right dark brown color and do basically exactly the same thing. I'm placing it in the outer corner of my eye and sort of blending it into the center and up at the top into the crease. And yeah, it's just more of the same. This is obviously going to be the most time consuming portion of this look, and I'm just going in again with the concealer brush, which basically I use as like an kind of brush. I use it for blending and contouring and everything. But I picked up the first light brown shade using that to sort of blend everything out, and then I'm adding more of the dark brown color, again, just to build up the intensity to get it to where I want. And it's basically rinse and repeat as many times as you need to get to the, you know, level of intensity that you want. So once I've done that, I'm taking the e.l.f. smudge brush and mixing the two darker brown colors from the palette to sort of smudge it on my lower lash line about 3/4 of the way in, and then connecting it to the top part of the eyeshadow. And after doing that, I realized the top portion was not as deep as I wanted it, so I went back and deepened it up some more. And now I'm taking the shimmery champagne color and sort of placing that on the lid on top of the barely branded color, just to add, you know, more intensity and shimmer and sheen to my eyelids and sort of bring out the center and like give it more definition. And then I'm just going in again, mixing the two darker brown shades just to sort of blend it out since I added that shimmery color to my lids. All right, so now I'm taking the e.l.f. Brightening Eye Color Quad in Luxe and taking the lightest shade. I'm actually using that as an inner eye highlight using the e.l.f. Professional Defining Eye Brush. I'm just packing that color onto the inner corner of my eye and along the lower lash line a little bit, and it's just a very beautiful super pigmented champagne color that's very pretty. Okay, and here's where I messed up a little bit, but just to deepen the color a little bit more, I took a matte black shade and packed it onto the outer corner of my eye, and I put on too much, even though, you know, I tapped off the excess, and I'm just trying to fix it now by blending it out and adding some browns to it too to help with the blending. But obviously when you're using a black eyeshadow, you have to be really careful, because I thought I barely had anything on my brush, and apparently the black I chose was super pigmented and I took too much. But you know, it worked out after lots and lots of blending. So onto eyeliner, I am using the Marcel Double Precision Liquid Eyeliner Pen. And this is my favorite eyeliner of all time, by the way, because I have really oily eyelids, and this has been the only thing, high-end and drugstore, that I've ever tried that actually stays on without smudging. So just a little side note. Basically, I started at the inner corner of my eye and then flicked it out at the end to create a little thin cat eye. And I like to use the thinner side of this pen just sort of to outline the shape that I want, and then I fill it in with the thicker pen side. So onto falsies, I'm using the Ardell Natural 120 Demis, which actually, these aren't the ones that I used in the photos, but I kind of like these better. I was using the Demi Wispies, which are very similar, but I don't know, I like these better. So to line my lips, I'm using the Sephora lip liner in Real Red, and to be honest with you guys, I don't wear lip liner ever in my regular life. I'm just too lazy and I can't be bothered. But for my wedding, you know, I think it just should look a little more clean and precise. So yeah, lip liner. So for lipstick, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible lipstick in Infallible Red, and this is seriously a gorgeous tomato red, so rich and pigmented. It's really beautiful. And even better, the formula is probably one of the best, if not the best, long wear formula I've ever tried. Like, I can't believe this is a drugstore lipstick. But I basically apply it once and I don't even have to touch up, unless maybe I had a whole meal or something, then I have to touch up a little bit, but it doesn't smudge or budge at all. So I'm just applying the top coat to seal it in and add a bit of shine before finishing off with the blush, which I left until now because I really wanted to finish the eyes and lips before I, you know, sort of decided what I wanted to do with the blush. So I went in with the e.l.f. blush that was part of the bronzing duo, and you know, what I'm trying to do is try to match it with my look as best as I can, you know, like to really complement and bring out my eyes and lips, which are the real stars of this look. So to warm it up even more, I'm adding the orange that's in the e.l.f. blush palette in light, and you can see that it really, like, I don't know, I feel like it really complements the lipstick and the eyes so much better. And finally, I'm just gonna add some highlight, which I actually forgot to do for the original photos, but obviously especially for a bridal look, something that's gonna be photographed, you wanna look really radiant and add some glow to your face. So I'm using the Benefit What's Up a highlighter, and I'm just adding that to my Cupid's bow, the high points of my cheek, and a little bit underneath my brow, just to add back that little bit of, glow to my face. And I think that's it. Yeah, so I hope you guys liked my very first makeup tutorial, and I hope you like this look. If you have any tips or tricks you want to share with me, please leave it in the comments. And I hope the people who asked for a tutorial found this somewhat helpful. And yeah, I guess I will talk to you guys later.